Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat, Sleep, Boxing, Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk, your home for betting tips and analysis. Please click the link in the description and check them out. They give all sorts of betting tips for not just boxing, football, horse racing, other sports as well. Please do, yeah, click on the link and see what they've got for you. Thomas, good to be joined by you again. Final prediction video: the return of Edgar Berlanga after his fight against Canelo Alvarez last year in Orlando, Florida, against Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz, the undefeated Jonathan Gonzalez-Ortiz, who has a record of 20 wins, 16 knockouts, zero losses, and one draw. Thomas, yeah, fairly Berlanga very kind of very strong favorite for this fight, but I'm still going to ask you for your final prediction and your thoughts. Give us your prediction for this fight, please.
Yeah, if Berlanga is the guy that, we think he is, and he's as good as we think he is, then I he should definitely get this guy out of there. Uh, no later than like round five. I'm going with round five or six knockout, or stoppage. I think he he is just levels above Gonzalez-Ortiz. And one thing of note is that Gonzalez-Ortiz has been uh, inactive for quite some time. Took 10 years off and then just came back last year. So, and there's just not a whole lot there on his record. So, yeah, I would be shocked if it goes the distance. I think it would be kind of a bad look on Berlanga's record.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting one in the sense that there's expectation for Berlanga to look good here. I'd be interested to know the whole story with Gonzalez Ortiz because it looked like he retired at the age of 23, 24. Would love to know what he was doing for 10 years, and it's an amazing opportunity for him. If you consider this time last year he hadn't fought for 10 years, it's pretty incredible to now be fighting someone who's just fought for the undisputed championship of the world, right? That's pretty crazy. I'm actually going to go one further than you, Thomas. I'm going to go within 3 rounds, and if I had to pick a round, I'd go round three. I just think I don't want to like write Gonzalez Ortiz off too much. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert of him, but if Berlanga has hopes and expectations of being like the next guy at 168 after Canelo Alvarez either retires or leaves the division, he needs to be winning this fight in the first half, and in my opinion, in the first 3 rounds of the fight. I want to get your opinion on that, Thomas. Canelo Alvarez is expected to become undisputed champion once again in May against William Skull. Um, but and we don't know how much longer he's going to be in the division, but he's in the grander stages of his career. If he was to kind of become undisputed again, hold all his titles up and say, I'm the best in this division, all of you boys can kind of, I'm going to let you guys kind of fight, fight for this to just decide who's second best. And he goes and fights Dmitry Bivol or Artur Beterbiev or whoever. Is Berlanga a real contender to take over? Could he be the number one? Obviously, Diego Pacheco is ranked very highly. Christian Mbili, the undefeated Christian Mbili, who's been undefeated for a while. Jaime Munguia is another name as well, of course. Where does Edgar Berlanga fit in all of that with you?
He's up there, I think, but I wouldn't feel terribly confident just based off of his record so far. Obviously, he has had that fight against Canelo Alvarez, outclassed across all 12 rounds, but aside from that, there just isn't really a whole lot there. And I wouldn't be surprised if all of those guys beat him and he never wins a world title. But, you know, maybe, we'll see how long Canelo stays at 168. It seems as though after the fight with Skull, he's going to defend those titles against um, Terrence Crawford, and then I I think that Canelo would move up and I like to think that anyway. So if that did happen, um, yeah, I'm just still not terribly confident in Berlanga's chances of winning a world title. Maybe, maybe he can get his hands on like a WBA like regular belt or something like that. But um, yeah, I we'll see. Those are I mean him against Jaime Munguia, I think would be a great fight. Like I would love to see that. Or Pacheco. Um, but yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if he beats any of those guys.
No, and I just hope we see these fights because with Berlanga, I just think when you take away the Canelo Alvarez fight, which he lost, and there's no shame in doing that, there are 22 wins there of guys who there are some names there, but I don't think I in my opinion he hasn't fought a top 10 or possibly even a top 15 super middleweight at the age of 27. And I think he really needs to do that. He should win this fight with relative ease, and he should then be in a big fight in the summer. He really should. I don't want to see him have this kind of rebuilding job and step down 4 or 5 levels from fighting Canelo. His aim should be to fight Jaime Munguia, Diego Pacheco, Caleb Plant is another potential as well. Big American names. But one of those fights should happen this year. I don't want to sound like I'm being too harsh on Berlanga. I do think there is ability there, but let's not have this kind of 18 months, 2 years of him just fighting guys we all know he's going to beat. And I just think there's potential for excitement in this division once Canelo departs. And I would love Berlanga to be a part of that, but we'll see.
Yeah, me as well.